We all just took like a short break in between the JavaScript training before this one.
Yeah. How did it go?
Yeah, it went pretty good. Pretty good.
Nice. What do you guys do?
Built just a small application, but instead of building it with files like HTML and JavaScript files, I built it by communicating directly with the browser. So I gave them a little introduction to just JavaScript and some of its properties and characteristics. Showed them some of the web APIs that allow you to actually build robust and functional applications. And then I went and built just a small application by communicating directly with the browser. Next week, we're going to actually build that project.
That's awesome.
Yeah, with the files. But,
By the way, I have a question regarding the Friday event because you had the demo days last week.
yeah.
What happened to it?
Yeah, no one showed up. So I don't know if I'm going to continue that one. Normally with events, they grow steadily in size.
Yeah.
So normally there's like, sometimes there's just no one the first week, and then the second week you get one, and next week one, and then two, and they're like gradually growing. With that one, we had a couple people the first week, and then the next week it was zero. Not even any new people, didn't get any messages from anyone about it. So I'm considering whether to do that one on Fridays or to wait until we start having some projects. There's a big project I'm planning on working on with the entire community. It's going to be an ambassador program. So I'm working on it with two other developers who are senior. They're actually online right now, Fernando and Omar. Just an ambassador program. So for people who live in other cities, like you, for example, you live in the Chicago area, to be an ambassador for the O1 Software Network. So we're going to build an ambassador program into our website, and it's going to allow you to sign up and like host in-person events. And then anyone who you bring to the Patreon, there's a Patreon API. So we're going to have to work closely with the Meetup API, the Patreon API, the Discord API, and find a way to track which one of our ambassadors are actually signing people up and bringing them to the Discord. And then based on that, we're going to give the ambassadors a certain percentage of subscription pay. So give people who are actually part of the network an opportunity to make money for bringing new members. And we're going to give just members like you and other people who want to build a real project an opportunity to actually like build the project with us. So I think that will be better for like a pair programming to replace the demo days, like actually create a project for everybody to work on together that actually benefits everybody. And yeah, I feel like that would be better than a demo day for now, you know, just a actual project everyone could work on together. So still in the works for planning. I'm not positive exactly what we're going to do, but we're kind of leaning towards that right now. It just seems like the best next step.
I just want to
Okay.
say the idea sounds great. And also, I'm in Chicago, so if you're trying to recruit someone, I'm in Chicago.
Oh, you're also from Chicago?
Yes. Well, I'm in the
Oh, nice.
suburbs of Chicago now, but it's just like 20 minutes from the city.
Oh, nice. I live in Uptown.
Oh, okay.
Awesome. Didn't know you were from Chicago. Let's talk later.
Okay.
Cool. All right, I'm going to share my screen. I'll share this problem, and we will get to it. All right, I just shared my screen, so feel free to double-click my name. Let me know when everyone's looking at the problem.
I can see the problem.
I can see it.
All right, cool. So this one is called remove letter to equalize frequency. So we're given a 0 indexed string called word, consisting of only lowercase English letters. You need to select one index, so one character, and remove that character at the index from word so that the frequency of every letter present in the word is equal. Return true if possible to remove one letter so that the frequency of all letters in word are equal, and false otherwise. So you can see in the first example, we have A, B, and C. If we remove C, then the frequency of each letter is 1. So we have 1A, 1B, 1C. And so the frequency is the same, Each character's frequency is 1. But if we removed A, then we'd have B, which appears once, so the frequency is 1. And we have 2 C's, which appears twice, so the frequency is 2. So for this one, we would be able to just remove C. We'd end up with 3 characters that all appear once, and we return 3. Select index 3 and delete it. Word becomes ABC, and each character has a frequency of 1. The frequency of letter X is the number of times it occurs in the string. And you must remove exactly 1 letter and cannot choose to do nothing. So we're going to be given a string. We have to remove 1 character. So is it possible to remove 1 character, regardless of the character? It could be the 0 index, it could be the 20 index, it could be the 5 index. It doesn't matter what character it is. But you have to find a way to remove just 1 character where all the other frequencies are the same. So for example, let's just say we have a string that's like AAA, BBB, CCC, DDDD. We have 3 A's, 3 B's, 3 C's, and 4 D's. So if we remove 1 D, now we have 3 of each. So this would be true. But if we had 5 D's, there's no way we could remove just 1 D, because then we have 3, 3, 3, 4. Second example, we have AAZZ. This is going to be false because no matter what, if we remove 1, there's always going to be an uneven number of frequencies. So we must delete a character, so either the frequency of A is 1 and the frequency of Z is 2, or vice versa. A is 2 and Z is 1, so that it's impossible to make all present letters have an equal frequency. And the length of the word is going to be anywhere from 2 to 100, so very, very small. A brute force solution will work with this problem if you do find out a way to do it O of n squared. And then word consists of lowercase English letters only, so we don't have to worry about uppercase letters. It's pretty simple in that sense, that it's small and only lowercase English. Does anyone have any questions on this problem?
No, I think it's no, I wouldn't say simple, but it's easy to understand.
Yeah, it's straightforward.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and open up my code editor. I'll invite you in case anyone wants to code along with me. Projects, DSA, easy, 16. Whoa, that's big. All right. I'm going to create the live share link. And same thing, I'm going to go ahead in the open chat. So we're all in the Beginner's Guide to Data Structures Algorithms. We have our open chat here. If you go ahead and click the link, you should be able to pop right into my code editor. There's going to be 2 prompts. One of them is going to ask you if you want to log in through the browser or open up Visual Studio Code. I always just click browser. It's easier. And then it's going to ask you if you want to sign in as a guest or sign in through not Visual Studio Code, through GitHub. I always just sign in as a guest, and it's going to ask you your name. You enter your name, and you'll pop into my code editor. You'll see my code editor in your browser, so you'll be able to code along right here. I'll create a couple practice files here. And I'll give everyone just a minute to pop in. Does everyone understand this problem here? Christina and Alex?
Sorry, I just tried to live share. I'm not seeing anything from my end. I hit OK as a guest, but is something supposed to come up automatically?
Yeah, so when you click the live share link, it should pop up in the browser, and then it's going to ask you if you want to sign in through Visual Studio Code or in the browser. Just click browser, and then it's going to ask you if you want to sign in through GitHub or guest. Just click guest. You should be good to go.
Mm.
Yeah.
Does she have the extension, or is it required?
It's not required if you sign in through the browser.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Okay, I'm
T got
sorry.
it to work too. The problem with T was she was trying to open it up in Safari, and for some reason there's a bug in Safari, so she did it through
Okay.
Google Chrome instead, and it actually worked. That was her.
Okay, I'm gonna try to sign in again because I think I deleted some cookies and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not letting
Oh,
me do.
Christina's in.
Yeah.
Daniel, you're in.
Am I in?
Yeah, you're in.
Yeah, it doesn't show. Okay,
Christina's in.
now it's showing.
Yeah, there you go. Good to go.
I just want to mention the file names are have a spell. It's Practress. Yeah. Practress.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Daniel.
Doesn't change anything, but it's funny.
No, we're good.
I didn't notice they all are. He did it on purpose.
Yeah, I think so because
I did. I was testing you.
yeah he did it for all 3 files. So.
Exactly. I'm fixing your typos today.
That's funny. All right. So I'll give you guys just a couple minutes to think it through. Feel free to speak out loud and just articulate your thoughts as you think through it. If you're in an interview and you're talking to them, they're not going to want you to think through it silently. They're going to want you to actually be speaking what you're thinking. They want to hear your thought process as you're thinking about it. So get comfortable with that. It's going to be better for interviews.
Okay. Okay. Let me think of something. Can I check the link for the problem on
Oh,
LeetCode,
yes.
please?
Yes. Let me just share that in the chat too.
I just want to take a look without having to look at the
Yeah. For sure.
transmission. Okay, thanks. Let's see. By the way, what does it mean to be 0 indexed?
Just
Starts with 0.
yeah, just that the first character is a 0 index instead of, I mean, in computer programming you really have, from what I've seen, 0 indexed or 1 indexed, but most of the time it's 0 indexed.
Okay, because you have multiple languages that you can use to solve the problem, right?
Yeah, you could use any
Oh, that's why
language you
they say
want.
that. Okay. Yeah, that's why they say that, I guess. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, I'm thinking of something. Oh, that's weird. Oh.
I'll give you a hint. There's no way I was able to solve it without using O of N space.
Okay, yeah. That's probably true. Yeah.
I had to use O of N space.
Hmm.
Or not O of N space, O of K space. So I had to, I wouldn't even call it O of N space. I would call it O of K space because I needed to create a property in a map for every potential letter. So max 26 keys for 26 letters of lowercase English letters. And so I guess I would consider that O of 1 because it's 26 and 26 is a constant. That's the max.
Yeah.
But I would still consider it just O of K because you're still creating one key for each character, I guess.
Yeah, totally.
And all three of my solutions required that same like first step, where you're basically counting the characters. But that's all I'm saying. I want to give you guys a couple minutes to try to think it through. Do you have any questions? Like, let's just say you were sitting in an interview right now and they gave you this problem and you just don't really know where to start. What questions would you ask to kind of...
There's a typo. I know you probably talked about it. It's practice. Is it? You mean practice?
Yeah.
No, it was on purpose.
Yeah. Yeah, no, practice is actually in the dictionary. It means practicing with a little extra effort. I'm just playing. Don't look that up.
Of course I'm not. What do you think?
T's over there like dictionary.com like, yeah, let me see about this. Nah.
He's lying.
You see a bead of sweat dripping down my forehead. Like, I swear it's a word. The life of a programmer. Typos. Gotta love it.
So I'm kind of happy about how, well, I guess proud of myself. I don't know. I never say that word. But anyway, I was able to get access to your cloud thing. So I'm in the cloud. And yeah, I had to use a different browser. I had to use Chrome.
Yeah. Yep.
So, but we're on 4. We're all working on number 4. Or is it like...
I posted the problem in the chat. So if you go to, the open chat, I posted the problem. I'll pull it up too right here on my screen. So this is the problem here. It's a tricky one though. Normally Daniel has some thoughts on it, and Daniel's kind of.
No, don't worry.
I'm not hearing anything, so.
I'm gonna get it somehow. I think I have an idea which might be a little bit tricky. Okay, let's see. Can I try to start something?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so I'm gonna create a map. So what should we call it? Like a variable name? Just map or something?
Yeah, I called mine frequencies. Because that's
okay.
what I'm storing. If you're storing frequencies, then I would call it frequencies.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
So new map. This is a string. I'm just gonna do a for loop. So I'm just gonna store like basically everything there. So let's see. So the word I. So okay, so I want to actually do like map. Sorry, frequent. Okay, I forgot that I used the frequencies name. Frequencies set. We want the value to be word I, right? And yeah. And on this one, like we be like, how do we get something out of a map? Let me see. Would be the methods for that.
Get and set basically if you
Yeah,
if you want to
get.
get the value. Yep.
So frequencies dot get. Uh, so it asks for a key, right? So basically, is this a thing? Like, does this thing exist in the map? If it does, um, I want. Oh God. Okay, let me think again. Let's see.
Yeah, there's two cases.
Yeah.
Either it already exists in the
Yeah,
map.
exactly. Yeah, it's something like this, right? I remember. Yeah. So two cases. So let me think here. Set. So I want to set the key, which is the character, right? But I only want to do it if. Okay, let's see. Let's change things here though. So first, let's do frequencies dot get word I. So if this is true, right? I wanna set the so sorry. If this is not true, I want to set. So basically, if we don't have this character in frequencies, I want to set the key, which is the character, and a value. If we don't have it, we're gonna set it to 1. Else, if it means that we have it, we're gonna increment the value by 1. So how do I increment it by 1? Because I don't use map that often. Let me think here. Yeah, it'll be something like frequencies dot, I guess, set word I, and then how I do this number, but like something like it'd be like something plus 1, like would be like
Yeah.
word I dot value.
What
Plus 1,
value are you trying to add 1 to?
The basically you have the map, right? So I want to get first. So what I'm doing is I'm checking if this key exists in the dictionary, right, in the map. So if if it does not exist, I'm gonna set it to 1. I'm gonna put the character there. I'm gonna set the value to 1. If it does exist, I want to add the value. Like I want to add 1 plus 1. I'm not sure how to do this because I don't usually use maps a lot, but I know that you can set it. Let me check the methods because.
What are you adding this 1 to?
What do you mean?
What are you adding this 1 to?
Huh?
Like if it doesn't exist, you're adding this 1 to what?
To word I, to the character.
To this property, right?
Yeah, this is a key value.
So this property doesn't exist yet. But if it does exist, then what do you want to add this 1 to the value that already exists at this?
Oh, okay.
So how do you get the value that already exists here?
Okay.
How do you pull that value off the map?
Okay, I can do like key value frequencies, right?
That's gonna give you the whole map.
Well, I don't know. Now let me think here. I don't know. I don't use maps that often. I should. But yeah, this probably doesn't work. Let me think.
No, you were pretty on point. Go back, put that code here. The only thing that's wrong is this.
Thing, yeah, I don't. Yeah, I just don't understand the syntax for how to do it.
Because you're not you're not pulling the value off of the word. You're pulling the value off the frequencies map. So if you want to get the value at this word I position, then you're literally just doing this.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Makes
you
sense.
just that.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't use it that often. But yeah,
I'm pretty or the way that you were doing it before, you could do this too. Like let current val or whatever equals this, and then just current val plus
that's
1.
good as well.
Just for more clarity, basically. Yeah.
Do you want to let's console log this to see if it works as it's supposed to. Let's take a look.
Unexpected token else.
For else. Why is it unexpected?
This is our for loop, so you put the else outside of the for loop.
Ah. Oh, so sorry.
All good.
Sorry, wait. Let me see. So you have this for loop. So I have to do this because now it's an else. And then you do this or this. Yeah, I hate doing this in this kind of stuff because it doesn't give me it doesn't show me where the brackets start and where they end. But I think now it's okay, right?
That should work. Yep.
Okay, so yeah, you have.
So 1A, 2 B's, 1A, 1B, 2 C's here, 2 A's, 2 Z's.
Okay. Okay, so now we have a map. We can actually do some work here. That's weird. Yeah, why is it okay, so I guess we
Here, I know.
Let
me just make it clean it up a little bit.
Sure. Do your thing.
There you go. All right, so now
So we have the frequency now. So let me see the problem again because I already forgot what it should be. So I have to see if I remove one character and they all become the same. So basically what you're asking me is there what I could do? I'm gonna do this. Let me see. Is there a way to sort? Okay, yeah, I think I got it. It's probably pretty stupid, but I'm gonna try it anyway, because why not? So can I get the values from the map? Like if I do frequency, if I do like console log frequencies dot values, what do I get? Because I'm not familiar with maps that much.
Let's see.
Because I usually use sets and.
You're getting just the function values, so it's not executing. Let's see what you get if you actually call it though. So you're getting an iterator, so an object that you could iterate over. But I think what you're trying to do though is get an array, right? So in that case, you would do object values and then pass in.
Yeah, but I didn't know you could do that with. Yeah, it's an object, so I should be able to do it, right?
It's the same exact thing.
Yeah.
You're still able to iterate over it. It's just this is gonna give you that should.
Why is it empty though?
Object dot values frequencies. Good question.
Oh dear.
Let me see. Let vals equals that. Huh. Yeah, your frequency. Yeah, because the frequencies. Maybe because you're using a map. Maybe because you're using a map and not the traditional object. Nah, yeah, so you would have to use the traditional object. I would stick with what you were doing originally, doing frequencies dot values.
Yeah. But does it work? Cause like I said, I don't remember how to do it.
Looked like it. It was an iterator, so it's an object, but you can still iterate over it the same way you would in array.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So let's try something here. So so let's store it in a variable like you did. Like let's say freq vals or something like this, and then we get this. Okay, so now we supposedly have the values. I'm gonna do something silly. I'm gonna just say let's sort it pretty silly. I'm just trying. So freq vals dot sort. I don't remember if you have to do like A and B or you can do it without the A and B and stuff. Like for the, like I don't know if you can do this or you can do like you have to do like this.
I always do it because there's some edge cases where you won't get the right answer, but
yeah. Can you check if it's sorted, please?
give it a shot. Sort does not work. Okay, yeah, so sort's only gonna work on the array object.
Well, I thought this was an array.
It's an iterator, but not technically. It's
Okay,
it's
so
an object you can iterate over, basically.
Okay. Oh. So I guess this doesn't. I still want to try to put this into array or.
You want to store the values into an array? Then I would say use an object as the map. So if we go ahead and and we change that into an object, then instead of frequencies get word, it would be like frequencies.
Yeah. Word I can do it if you want.
Yeah, do your thing.
So
that looks like regular
frequencies.
expressions right there. Frequencies word I. Yep.
So if there is not a thing, right?
You don't
you want to do frequencies word I receives 1.
Mm-hmm.
We can actually do this with a ternary, I think. Maybe I shouldn't overcomplicate it. I should refactor later, but well, whatever, right? So otherwise, frequencies. Damn, frequencies. I'm slow today. Sorry.
No,
frequencies. Word. I. Equal plus 1. Right?
Yeah, or just plus plus. Both would work, I think.
Sure, yeah, plus is better, I think. Okay, so can we please test to see if the frequencies is still working? Wait, there's something wrong with brackets. I don't need this bracket, do I?
Exactly. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be
Can we
good.
check, please?
Yep, so we got it.
Okay,
now.
yeah, it's gonna be easier. So now we can do, we can basically do the object entry stuff.
Object values.
Okay.
With
Values. Sorry, object values. So frequencies. I'm assuming that works. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna say let's sorted values, and then I'm gonna sort it like right here. I'm gonna do the AB thing.
So for those who are wondering though what's going on here, just so I could break it down really quickly, basically we're creating a map. So we have this object, and we're iterating over the word that was passed into the function. So let's just say we're using this word right here as an example. The first character we're going to iterate over is I. This is checking if, A, where this is checking if the A exists inside of the frequencies map. A is not. It's actually empty right now, so nothing exists in it. And since it doesn't exist, then we're going to add it and we're going to set it to 1. It equals 1. Then we're going to go to B and we check, does B exist in here? No. So we're going to add it and we're going to set it to 1. Then we're going to move to C. C does not exist in here, so we're going to add it and add 1. And then we check again to the last C, and it does exist, so we just increment the value of C to 2. Then, by passing this frequencies object into the object.values, what we're going to do is we're just going to pull the values off of this map. So 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. And so because the actual characters just don't matter to us. They don't matter. They're information we don't need, and so we're extracting only the values of each character out because all we need is the values to calculate whether or not we're able to decrease one of these and end up where the rest are equal. So if we're able to decrease this to 0, then they're not all equal, so that wouldn't work. But if we're able to decrease this to 1, that means we removed one character, we removed one of the C's, and they're all equal, so we're able to remove 1. So we don't actually need to know the characters. We're just extracting, we're first building this map with each character and the number of characters or the number of times it appears inside of the word we were given, and then we're extracting the values outside of this object we built and just inserting those values into an array. The only thing we need to actually calculate whether we could remove one character and all frequencies will be equal is the values. The characters don't matter at this point. So that's basically what he's doing. Build the object, count the number of characters, convert the object into an array with just the values of the characters. Go ahead. Just so everyone kind of gets what's going on here.
Yeah, that's right. Can we check the console log, please, to see if it's sorted correctly? I think it is, right?
Yeah, go ahead and just console.log sorted values. Yeah, it should be good. Yeah, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2. Yep.
Okay, so I have two approaches to this.
Although actually, that's the order they would be in anyway. So let me just make sure it's working. Yeah, 1, 1, 3. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I have two approaches to actually solve this problem right now. First one would be an educated guess, which would be something like return sorted values 0. Sorted values length -1. And so this is silly, okay? So basically what I'm trying to do is like, if we sorted this array, all the values, the frequencies, we can do an educated guess that if we want to solve this problem the way it is, that the first element of this array is gonna have a gap of 1 in regard to the last one. Right? Because the last one, remember, is the one who has more frequencies than the others. So right now in this problem here, in line 19, it would be 1, 1, 2, right? Mm-hmm. So we're gonna compare, and it's already sorted. We compare like, is 2 minus 1 1? If so, that means that we have one more frequency for the last character, and then it would return true, because it means that we can remove this one, the C, and it would be all the same frequency.
What if it
so
was?
That,
what if it was 1, 2, 2?
Yeah, that's a problem. So that's an educated guess, but I guess there's a problem with that. Let me think then. What would happen if we did 1, 2, 2. Hmm.
You're definitely onto something. I see where you're going with this.
Yeah. 1, 2, 2. Well, it would be false, but it would be false, right? Because you can't. If it's 1, 2, 2, you can't remove. Oh, you can't remove the. Is it possible? Okay, remove letter to equalize frequency. So you could remove. I see what you're talking.
You could
about.
remove the 1, and then all
Yeah,
frequencies would be 2. But what if it was 1, 1, 2, 2?
Mm.
Then you couldn't just remove the first one, because then it would be 1, 2, 2. So the frequencies would be unequal.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Let me think here. So okay, so we do have OON in the for loop. We have the frequencies there. Sort of volume. That's tough for some reason. What am I missing here? Okay, so we could try something, but it's gonna be terrible. It's gonna be ON2. Like
I actually like that solution the best because it's the simplest.
yeah, but the problem that it doesn't work, right?
It works. A brute force
What?
solution. Well, the one that you have right here doesn't work, but I mean like the O of n squared solution. It's the brute force solution. It works. It's the simplest of them all. I like that one the best. Like honestly, in an interview, I would just give the brute force solution. I wouldn't even try to give them anything. With given the constraints of only 100 characters and the size of this problem, I would just do brute force, and I would tell them like, hey, I know there are other solutions for this problem, but I don't want to overcomplicate things. And given the size of the constraints, the brute force is the best option here.
Okay, I'm gonna do something really silly. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't know how to even approach this. What I was going to do was I was going to do something like using the every method, right? So every, val, and then I would check if I remove this, they're all equal, right? Like if I remove, let's say, if I remove word I is dot every val true, like something like this.
You're onto something. I like it. You're moving in the right direction for sure.
But it's tough. It's tough.
It is. There's a couple more pieces to it for sure. At least this solution.
Yeah. Okay, let me. I'm probably gonna have to think a little more. If someone else wants to try it, but be my guess. I need more time here.
I'm gonna go ahead and just restructure the code a little bit and let you see if you could figure it out
Sure.
from that point. So one of the things that I had to do in all 3 of my solutions was actually use this this function several times, and so I called this function get frequency, and I passed in the word, and then I actually did basically I just return it. So I put the frequencies, and then I just return frequencies from there. So this is a function I used several times. I created the object, figured out the frequencies, and then so let.
So you can look up anytime.
I'll just do it how I did it for just clarity.
Sure. Char of words. Okay.
Word, and then,
But then you have to replace everything with char, right?
yeah.
I use for loop because it's more performant according to people.
Yeah, so it's the same exact logic basically.
Yeah.
Then we just return this, and then I didn't actually. Let's just comment this out for now. Actually, we'll comment all this out.
You didn't sort it. Okay.
No, there was one solution where I was trying to sort it, but I decided not even to go with that solution because it was a little tricky. And then we iterate over each character in the word. So one by one for let I equals 0, starting at the first character of the word we pass into the function, going from word.length all the way to the end of the word. So from starting from this A all the way to the C. And for each one of these characters, it's actually like there's more code than you would expect, and that's what makes this one a little challenging. So basically what we're doing is we're creating a new word with the current character removed. So we're going to remove, for each character in the word, we're going to create a new word with that character, and then we're going to find out the frequency, find the frequency of each character in the word with the current character missing. And then we get the values. So find out the values of each character. So literally what you were doing, just outside of the for loop. And then this is exactly where you were just headed. So check if all the frequencies are the same.
Yeah, but O(n) squared, man, that's tough.
And then if all are equal, just return true. It is tough. And if you break out and you never reach true, then you just return false. The thing is, O of n squared is tough, but when you look at a problem of this size, with 100 characters and only lowercase, like the simplicity of this problem, it's just the simplicity of this problem is what makes a brute force solution okay. Because creating a more efficient solution is going to add complexity, decrease readability, make it so less programmers could work on it. So there are also cons with more efficient solutions if you're decreasing the simplicity and readability and ability for other programmers to work on the code with you. If I showed you a couple of the more complicated solutions, like you would understand them for sure, but it's more code to try to read through and understand. So getting involved and working on the function and making it better or integrating it with other code is actually more difficult for other people in the organization. And with a problem this small, you never have to worry about the efficiency being bad. Even if it's a O of n cubed with only 100 characters, a brute force solution, like you're not costing the company any more money. Now, if you were processing like 100 billion characters, and now a computation that would have taken 50 milliseconds is now taking 17 minutes, that's time. That's time that at the end of the year, if you're running this function 100 times a day, and each time you run the function, that's 17 minutes. Now that 100 times 17, so 1700 minutes computation-wise, multiplied by 365 days, and then it starts adding, it starts becoming expensive, you know. But if it's still just a couple milliseconds because of the size of the problem, it's still only going to be like a couple minutes, you know, like with a problem this small, it's fine. It's when you start getting to bigger problems that the O of n squared becomes a real problem. But even with graph algorithms, sometimes the best solution you could get with a graph algorithm without any optimizations is O of n squared. And those problems are huge, you know. It's just like, they're just really hard problems to solve. But yeah, this is really as simple as it gets without overcomplicating things for the simplicity of this problem. You know, for the size of the problem, this is really, I think this is the best solution.
I was trying to think something linear, complexity, but yeah, I guess I can't really. Okay, let's. You want me to try this? I can't delete this since we're not gonna use it.
Yeah, you could. Does someone else want to go ahead and give it a shot, or?
Yeah, I just wanted to add something. So, are you trying to add value to the alphabet like, are you trying to find a way to not organize, but define the alphabet in some
No.
sort of way?
No. So basically, we just want to see if there's any possibility where we could remove one character and now all the rest of the characters appear the same number of times. So in this case, if we remove C, A, B, and C each appear one time because we removed the second C. So A appears one time, B appears one time, C appears one time. All of them appear one time. And so this is true. We're only allowed to remove one character. So if we remove
Yeah, but
this,
they, oh, I see. So, like, because you're not removing anything, I
we
think.
we have to remove at least one though. That's in the requirements. We have to remove one. We can't leave it the same. Because in the second one, if we didn't have to remove anything, we could just leave this the same. And then the A appears twice, the Z appears twice, both of them appear twice. The frequency is the same for both characters that appear. You're good to go. But the requirements of the problem says we have to remove one. So in the second case, since we have to remove one, we could remove a Z, but now there's two A's and one Z. So the A's appear twice, Z appears once, and so they're not equal. If you remove A, then A appears once, Z appears twice, and so one's
so then
once,
the
one's twice.
Yeah, so then the question to remove one, it doesn't make sense,
What do you mean?
right? It wouldn't make any sense to pose that question on AAA, triple Z. Or I mean double A, sorry, double A, double Z.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, but we have to remove one. So if you look at the problem, it says you must remove exactly one letter and cannot choose to do nothing. So you could choose any letter. It could be any one, but you have to remove one. And after removing the best one, is there any possible way you could remove just one where the frequencies are the same? The hard part isn't actually removing. The hard part is like calculating the frequencies and comparing it to the rest of the frequencies, you know?
Okay, but you're assigning letter A to 1 and then B 2 to B, if I'm not mistaken.
No, so if I'm all right, so this get frequency function is what's gonna take this string. So I'll do both of them just so you could see.
Okay.
So this get frequency function, let me go ahead and just put it down here so you could see. So we're passing S into this function right here. In the first example, S is this string. So this function has access to this string right here. The first thing we do is we create a new object. So we create our new object. Currently, it's an empty object. It has nothing inside of it. So we iterate over each character of this word. This is our word. So for this character, we run this code. For this character, we run this code. For this character, we run this code. And for our last character, we run this code. Because this is a for loop. So for every character, we run this block of code right here. The first time, the character is at A. That's the first character of this word. So we check to see if this character exists in our object, our frequencies object, then we increment it by 1. But it doesn't. Our frequencies object is 0 right now. Nothing exists in it. And since nothing exists in it, then we set the current character, so A, to 1. So we do A, 1.
Just curious, wouldn't it be 0? Doesn't it start from 0 to 1, 2, 3, or something like that?
Well, this is the 0 index, the 1 index, the 2 index, the 3 index, but we're not thinking about indexes here. We're just thinking about the frequency that this A appears. So this A, regardless of whether this A is in the 0 index or the 200th index, it's appeared 1 time so far. So we're counting how many times it appeared. This is determining whether it's yet. Does this character, our A, exist in this map? No, nothing exists in this map. So we add the A to the map and say we just encountered A for the first time.
So just one time, right? And then B 1 time, and then C 2 times.
B 1 time. And then we go to C. It's not in here yet, so we add C 1 time. And then we do it again. We move to the last C. And now this character is in here. It exists and it's at 1. So instead of setting its value to 1, we just increment its value. So 2. So that's that map. Now we have that map. And then...
And when you press console or when you enter, I suppose it's going to be 1, 1, 2, 1 dash 2. I mean, 1 dash 1 dash 2.
It's gonna be an object with A1, B1, C2. I'll show you too.
And then with like the double A, double Z, that's gonna be 2, 2.
Yeah, it's gonna be A, then it's gonna move the A to 2, then it's gonna be Z1, then it's gonna be Z2.
Okay.
And then so basically, let's go ahead
you have to remove 1, right? That's the problem. That's the end goal, is to remove 1.
Yeah, you just want to remove 1. So let's go ahead and run get frequency on Word. So I'm going to do get frequency on Word. And I'm going to print this out. And you could see our object, A1, B1, C2. And then our second object, A2, Z2.
It also says false.
That's irrelevant. That's only returning false because it's making it to the end of the function without us doing anything else.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah. So this is what we'll actually have to do. So basically, what this for loop is gonna do now, when we get the so basically, this is the logic that I want to use for the let me go ahead and just delete this stuff here. So basically what I want to do is for each character, I want to remove that character and then test the frequencies. So if I have this string right here, what I want to do is I want to slice this string and I want to add it to another slice of this string. And so as I iterate, I want to slice from 0 to I, and then from I plus 1. So on the first iteration, we're going to slice 0 and I equals 0. So it's going to be 0 to 0. So an empty string, because you're in the same position. 0 and 0, same position, empty string. So this slice is going to give you an empty string. And the second slice is going to give you 0 plus 1. So 0 plus 1 puts you at that position, and it's going to give you BCC. So you could see when you concatenate an empty string with BCC that it actually just cut the A out. And so now we have this string. So we cut the A out, we're left with this string here, and then we run the get frequency on this right here. And so what that will return us is B1, C2. And then we extract the values out, so 1 and 2. And then we run the every on this array right here. So we're basically checking if every value equals values 1. If every value inside of this array equals the first element, so if they all equal 1, then it's true. Otherwise it's false. So let me just go back real quick and do one more step so you could see. Then we go back, then we increment I to 1. And so we slice 0 to 1 plus slice I plus 1. So 0 to 1 is going to give us this A. So from 0 position to 1 position is going to slice out this A.
Don't you mean I? I'm sorry. 0 to I?
Yeah, 0 to I. Sorry.
Okay.
Is going to give us this A. And then I plus 1. So 1 plus 1 is going to give us 0, 1, 2. So it's going to slice out this C. and we'll do CC, and then we'll concatenate this A and CC together. Then we have ACC as a string. So the first one was BCC. Now this one is ACC. And then if we do it again where we increment I to 2, then it's going to be ABC. And then same thing with the third one. It'll be ABC. So we're basically, we're iterating through the word we were given, removing one character at a time. And we're executing all this for each character. So we're literally removing every character from the string and testing what the new string with one character removed. For every character we remove, we're going to do all these tests. That's why it's O of n squared, because it's just, we're doing it for every single one. So let me go ahead and just say, like, I'll go ahead and type it out because it's 9:10 right now. So we'll do new string equals word dot slice 0 to I plus word dot slice I plus 1. So we're as I increments, we're cutting out the next character. Then we do let frequencies equal get frequencies of our new string. So this is going to give us the frequencies of our new string. And then we're going to do let values equals object dot values of our frequency. And then we're going to check if all are equal. And we're just going to do values, check if every one of our values matches this condition. So if every value equals value 0, if every value matches the first value, then this will be true. And if all equal is true, we'll return true. Otherwise, we'll return false. So if I go and test this out, we're in file 4. We get false and we get true. It should actually be true and false. Where's my error here? Frequency, get frequency. Let me just make this more clear. New word. Object dot values. Our frequency. We're storing our the values of our frequency map inside of a values array. Then values every. If val equals value 0. Otherwise return false. ABC. Oh, because I'm starting at 3. That should work. No, still not. Huh. Frequency.
Jim?
Yeah, what's up?
I think I got a solution using one of the things we learned on in the practice 5 file, because I couldn't do anything in the practice 4 file because you were using it. So I went to practice 5 file. Practice.
All right, cool. Let me just I'm trying to fix up this one right here.
Sure. I think you're gonna be surprised.
Let me just modify this line of code, then we'll check it out. So get frequency, pass in the S, let frequencies equals an empty object for let char of word, oh, should be char of S. Char of S, frequency char, increment, set to 1. I think that should work. If frequency is not defined. Oh, All right, so that works right there. That's good to go. And this is just, this is as simple as it gets, really. You have your frequency function, so if you cut that out, it's even simpler if you wanted to import that frequency function from another file. With a function like this, where you're counting the frequency of a word, you might be like, hey, we actually use this function in like several places in our program, not just in this file. In that case, you would just extract this, put it in its own function file, and then import it in so you could use that function just in this file. But since we're just using it in this file for now and we're not using it anywhere else, we'll just keep it as contained as possible until we really need to start extracting them into other places. And then you just have this block of code. We're basically creating a new word by removing a character. For each character, we remove that character, create a new word. We find out the frequency of the characters in that new word. We find out the values of those frequencies, and then we test to see if the first value in that array equals every other value in the values array. If all the values are the same, that means all the frequencies are the same, and in that case, this would turn out to true. And if it's true, that means we found a path where you could remove one character and all the frequencies end up being the same. If you exit this for loop without finding that, you're just going to return false because it's not possible. You're in 5? 5, you said?
Yeah, sorry, my mic was mute. 5.
Okay.
I used something I learned the other day.
All right, cool. Let's see it.
Let's see if it works. I think it worked. I tested on my own VS Code because I can use console log there. I also use some test cases. There are different, like all the same characters, characters that are just one character and empty characters. I hope it works.
True, false, true, true, false. Looks like it works. Go ahead, break it down.
Okay, I don't know if you got this is ridiculous because it's so, basically, I don't know if you guys remember we had a lesson on, I don't remember exactly what was the problem, but I think T is going to remember that. We use the XOR operator. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, so basically, I'm going to have to break this down again, right? So let's say what's going on here. I'm gonna comment here. So we initialize. Actually, this is a bad name. I should give it a name of sum instead of result. Sorry. Okay, initialize a sum. So we're gonna sum a lot of values to this variable. Okay, and then we create an object to store our keys and values. Why am I putting? I'm putting this after the comments. That's funny. Okay, so we iterate through the string, and if the character is not in the map. Oh, I'm gonna use a map with a quote here. In the map, it creates a key with a value of 1. Otherwise, it adds 1 to the existing value. So basically, it checks like, yeah, is this character not inside the frequencies map that created here? Okay, it's not. So we're gonna create a key inside this frequencies object using the character, let's say A, and we're gonna assign 1 because it doesn't exist. But let's say for the second loop, let's say this example here, AAZZ. We checked this didn't exist. It was created. Now it's 1 inside the frequencies map, right? The second one, it's gonna check and it's gonna say, okay, it's there. So we're not gonna initialize it again as 1. We're gonna take the character that's already there. Oh, sorry. we're gonna take the character that's already there, the value of 1, and we're gonna add it to it, and it's going to become 2. Then it's going to check for this value here, this character, and then it's going to see that it's not there. So it's going to initialize it as a value of 1 and the key of z. And then it's going to loop over again. It's going to see that it is there, and then it's going to say, okay, since it's there, I'm just going to take the value of 1 for the z key, and I'm going to add another. I'm going to add 1 to it, so it's going to be 2. So both frequencies are there. Like it's going at the end of this, it's going to be like A has 2 and Z has 2, right? That's a frequency. That's just an example. We could do the same for everything here. So what are we doing now? We're using a method called values to the object. I don't. What is it called? Constructor. Okay. So we basically, this is an array with all the frequencies. So for the example above, it would be like this, right? Because A is 2 and Z is 2 as a value. So we have these 2 values. So if you remember, T, the lesson we had the other day, where we used the XOR operator, I'm basically doing a sum of these of every number inside the array. For this example, it's just 2 and 2. So remember that we're not actually adding up the values themselves, but the binary version of these values. So if you remember, 1 is 0, 0, 1, and let's go to 2, right? 2 is 0, 0, 10. So for the XOR operator, we do 2 and 2, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna do the XOR thing. So if we do this, you have to remember that whenever 2 values are the same, it returns 0. So if we do the XOR operation for this, it's gonna be like this: 0 and 0 are the same number, so we return 0. 1 and 1 are the same number, so we return 0. 0 and 0 are the same number, so we return 0. And 0 and 0 are the same number, so we return 0. And so the result here is actually the binary number of 0, which is then converted to the actual number. The binary number of 0, which is this, gets converted to the decimal version of this number, which is this single digit of 0. So actually, this sum is going to be at the end. After all this stuff is done, sum is going to equal 0. So what does it mean like this is 0? It means that there is no odd frequencies. I wouldn't say, how can I explain this, Jim? Like all the numbers here that are here, they have the same frequency. If you had something like this, that would be a different story.
You mean like
what?
Oh, do you mean like duplicates?
Yeah, like not necessarily duplicates, but you could, yeah, like all the frequencies, they're the same inside the array. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Right? So the sum is going to be 0 because we do the XOR operation here, right?
Okay.
And then I check at the end whether the sum is different than 0. Because if the sum is different than 0, it means that not all the values here are the same. It could be something like this. And if we remove, like for this example here, let's take the first example. The first example is A, B, C, C, right? So it would be something like 1, 1, 2, right? Can I remove a character and make all the frequencies the same? Yes, I can remove 1C, and now all the frequencies are the same. So that's pretty much what we're doing, except we're doing it in a different way. I'm gonna do the XOR example again, but I'm gonna do it for the first one, okay? Okay. So let's do it for the first one. So the first one is gonna be A, B, C, C. So it's gonna be 1, 1, and 2, right? And we have all the numbers here. So let's do the XOR operation again. I know this is a bit complicated to the ones who haven't been to the event, and I'm sorry about that. Jim's a better teacher than I am. So we have 1, and we have 1. So we're gonna do this operation first. We're gonna take this number here and add it to this number, doing the XOR operation. So if we do this, since they're both the same, like 1 is equal to 1, 0 is equal to 0.
I'm not.
Be 0, right?
I'm not positive this solution is gonna work. Just I looked at this test case right here, and it should be false, I believe, right? A B B C C.
Line 41.
Yeah, it should be false.
But we're getting true.
Let's see here. That's weird.
Well, because we have
Any idea
two,
why?
2, 2, 2. So when we encounter the first 2, it's gonna increment to the binary 10. We do the next 2, it's gonna go to 0, and then we do the next 2, it's gonna go to 2 again. So it's not gonna be equal to 0. So you're not checking for the same number of frequencies. You're checking for even or odd number of frequencies.
So how would you go about fixing this? I tried my best.
With XOR, you're just determining whether there's an even or odd number of whether there's an even or odd number of elements. Like if the number 2 appears 17 times, then you're gonna have a value. If it appears 18 times, then you're not gonna have a value. So this isn't really gonna solve the problem. No, this isn't gonna count the frequencies.
Yeah.
But I like how you're trying to use it. I know. With the test cases you had initially, it does work for those test cases, but there are.
I did a bunch of tests before putting this, but I can't test everything, so I'm sorry about that.
No, it's all good. Yeah.
I'm teaching a solution that doesn't work, so.
Yeah, I was like, let me just check. There might be a way to make it work too. I don't know if it's going to be with the XOR. It might be with one of the other logical operators. I'm not positive exactly.
Maybe check like ChatGPT or something. Maybe there's a fix to this. Because I don't know. I gave my all here.
Yeah, I'd say if you want to look into it a little bit more, definitely feel free to explore that. I'm curious if there is an option. I'd say bring it tomorrow. If you find a way to solve it with the logical operators, just bring it tomorrow.
Sure.
That'd be cool. Or if y'all want to stay on and work together to find another solution, that's totally fine with me as well.
I'm gonna honestly just check ChatGPT to see if I can fix this. Like, what is the case that doesn't work? A B B C C. Okay.
I do have to hop off because I got one of my one-on-one clients reaching out. I should hop off by 9. But yeah, let me know if you figure out a solution for that. And yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow night. I think tomorrow we just have the data structure algorithm, right? Yeah.
I think so.
Just data structure algorithm. All right, so I'll see y'all tomorrow at 8 p.m. And yeah, post something in the chat. Let me know if you figure that out, Daniel. I'm curious. I got to hop on another call, though.
Okay.
All right, you guys have a good night.
Yeah, you too. See ya, Alex.
Okay, bye.
Chat with you guys soon.
Bye. Are you gonna stay on?